Hi there, this is Minister Gary Tate. I thought I'd do something a little different this time. Yes. I'm going to highlight some of the Live Now, Continue the Fight book that I have put together at CreateSpace or Amazon Kindle. You can contact me at garytate4@gmail.com for more information. You can also go to http // Outreach Ministries .weebly.com, and you'll see a veterans book and other books. And this is in the veterans related page. This book, I'm going to start with the dedication. This book clearly details information about the report from the Veterans Administration that indicates 22 soldiers every day take their lives. To them, their fight came to an end. This is tragic, since they returned home only to find their new life here harder to adapt with. This includes the thoughts and range of emotions they had to try to come to grips with, while being plagued with them constantly. Many have been recognized as having PTSD or TBI, with symptoms of having anxiety, adjustment disorders, and problems with alcohol and other drugs. And I do believe the Veterans Administration is trying to reach out through group meetings that I have attended, and the doctors who do try to make sure a veteran is not looking to find closure to their seemingly endless torture of their thoughts, followed by emotions that seem to control, manipulate, and eventually have them to choose to end their present battle. Yet I think that they look only at the physical and not spiritual answers. To my acknowledgement page, to God who has kept me safe in the midst of all I face, saved me in every way imaginable. He has helped me beyond words by what I can explain, and this is to this very day, leading, guiding, and instructing me as to my future by the Holy Spirit, beyond what at times my mind and emotions will tell me. I had an exam a couple years ago by a non-VA doctor who said that I learned to cope. She looked at my original diagnosis the Army doctors gave me back in 1970 and changed it to PTSD. Well, coping is effective, I guess. Yet she failed to realize if it were not for me being saved and having God through His Word and Holy Spirit where I was that day would have been quite different. The smile I wear is acknowledged that I could have died that day in Vietnam and went straight to hell. I know you're thinking, really? I had seen an angel of death awaiting me at the right side on an open field in Vietnam. And I didn't need anyone to tell me. My whole sense and thoughts drove me to that conclusion. And when you see an angel of death and you know, the first thought I had was, I'm going straight to hell. That's where I was. Now, I'll give you my table of contents just so you have it. My prologue, introduction. Chapter 1 is my journey to PTSD. Chapter 2, what you should know about PTSD. Chapter 3, continue the fight. Chapter 4, traumatic brain injury. Chapter 5, traumatic TBI problems, symptoms, and treatment. Chapter 6, what I call managing my injuries. Chapter 7, stress and finding relief. Chapter 8, keys in our recovery, and then the autobiography, and finally notes. Let me read you with the prologue so you get a sense. I read the content, but in this document within Chapter 2, I said what you should know about PTSD. Chapter 3, continue the fight. Chapter 4, traumatic brain injury. Chapter 5, traumatic brain injury, symptoms and treatment. In each episode, they contain collected material from 12 different sources, such as the VA and Christian websites. However, in Chapter 1, my journey to understanding PTSD managing my injuries and stress and finding relief, and finally keys in our recovery, contain my own personal story and various statistics of the challenges and process of recovering while having PTSD. I read this book recently called Healing Suicidal Veterans by Victory Montgomery III. And he wrote that there can be many feelings and thoughts that can prevent you if you let them, yet you can make the first decision to reach out, step out, and find help. Though this may be difficult to do, your courage and determination doing this will encourage and help the veteran. And I said, I concur with this advice. Live now. Continue the fight. I want to include now that what I shared at my local church, Living Water Community Church, with a group called Stevens Ministry and Heroes, Veterans Outreach Group, in regards to this part. I said, point one, as veterans, if they have seen combat, it can be that they walk through their own valley of death in some way. Now that they are home again, I want you to encourage this clear message to veterans for them to continue the fight, to live beyond all they have experienced or seen. They have been like me, called survivors. Yet I want them to choose to live this life fuller and deeper. Like me, they have arrived home, and my prayer is that their progression and goal are resolved. As for myself, I will not let what was given to me in Vietnam be forgiven nor wasted by lack of effort or decisions. It was my new starting place, another opportunity I had to begin again to live this life, one I never want to waste away. The transition home can be an incredibly tough one. I'm so saddened when I hear that a returned veteran has taken their life. It is reported that over 25 soldiers a day commit suicide. The only words I had for one soldier I met and greeted home lately were, "You made it home, now please choose to make it through this." Most have had different experience, types of shock, distress, reactions, are looking for help or suggestions how to begin or continue their walk towards wholeness. As I have written earlier, there are familiar experiences among Vietnam veterans like me that have had some similar reactions to feelings that are called post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. They tried to hide the pain, grief, and experiences behind a mask, as I have done and at times still do with a smile. And I think for right now, I go into my badges, medals, and ribbons, but I really don't think you need to know all that. I have my DD-214, I have a Purple Heart Oak Leaf Cluster. I was actually got expert in machine gun. Don't ask me how you do that. You ever shot one, you know what I'm telling you. M60 actually is what it is. So anyway, I will stop here. And again, you can contact me at GaryTate4@gmail.com. You can go to my website at http://veteransoutreachministries.weebly.com, or my main website is http://veteransoutreach.weebly.com, and there's a link to my book site. So thank you for this time, and I pray God bless you. And if you happen to see the event, just say, if you don't know what to say, just thank him for his service and let him know that you're praying for him. And that'd be wonderful. God bless.